Well, hello again there. Things might look a little bit different today. A little bit. I'm back up at the property. It's only been a couple days since I was here last, and I'm using my good camera, seeing how it captures things and whatnot. Instead of parking right here at the property, I decided to park down there where I turned around last time. Figured maybe that would be a little bit easier than backing up. I could turn around here probably. Things are moving. Things are making noises. Well, one of the first things I did was hit a stub and cut myself. Today is starting out great. Well, we're bandaged up. It wasn't really that bad of a nick, but it was bleeding and such, so I decided to bandage it up. But no luck over here still finding the pins. I really think, unless I pay someone to do it, I might have to buy a metal detector or something. I'm really thinking about it. Anyway, one of the things that I found is on the soil test map thing, they marked some backhoe spots or something, so I don't know if I could identify them or not, but I'm gonna try going deeper into the property a little ways and see if I can figure out an area that looks like it's been dug. There's two different ones from my understanding, so if that's the case, then that means I could potentially triangulate and be like, yes, this is the property. So short of buying something, investing more money, that's the last thing I can think of at the moment. So we'll give it a shot. I'm just going to be extra careful because today seems to not be going that well. So I don't want to take any chances if I don't have to. Well, over there, right up there somewhere is where we were before, where the markings were. Somewhere right up there. My God, I'm terrible at this. There's the big muffin top tree over there, okay? So, right over there somewhere, I think is where our marks are. Yeah, there's the tree with the mark on it. I'm pointing at it, but you probably can't tell. Here's this, found this mark. And right here, this looks like an unnatural dig. Now, I would have potentially assumed this is, where a root of a fallen tree was, but it might be a backhoe site. I'm hopeful that that's what this is. So if that's the case, then over there somewhere would be the second one based on my interpretation of the map. So let's go take a look. Okay, so there's this spot, but it kind of doesn't line up on the little map thing. The other one is right there. You can see that spot right there. That's the one I was just at, and this one's just a short ways over right here. And I think I showed this either in the last video or the one before it. If I didn't, then I saw it and I did not cover it in the video. But in any case, that could be the two backhoe sites. It's just kind of weird because that one's kind of forward and up, whereas according to the map, this one is supposed to be. So I'm a bit confused there. So I'm always uncertain, and I tend to try to be cautious rather than assume anything, but that does give me hope that we are on the right track here, and that those two holes indicate what the map is showing, and this area here is indeed the gully. My battery's dying, so that might be it for this day. One last thing today. I think that's poop, but I'm not sure from what. I thought a deer, but I don't think that's deer. I think it's something else. Holy shiz! We may have just found a pin. I gotta dig it up and see. Well, it just kind of dug up out of the ground. So, I mean, it's promise, maybe. If it is a pin, it wasn't attached, so maybe it's in this general area. The reason I found this, though, is because I was coming through the woods here, and there was this kind of clearing. Could be natural, but it just made me wonder if it was, something done intentionally because of how clear it looked. And then I found that, so I don't know. Here's a new find, another ribbon. right over there. If you can see, like right here by this tree, that's where the first, what I assume is the backhoe pit. Right down over there somewhere is where I found the blue ribbon thing. And this is here. And straight up through here somewhere is that big pine tree that we saw last time. So maybe these are property line markers. I just wish that I could tell where it goes from here. I'm also seeing more of these. Well, still no luck, but finding those few things was definitely a little bit of a confidence booster. Feel a little more positive about it, I guess. And I'm really thinking about maybe trying to go in on the metal detector. I'm not sure quite yet, but the people who I wanted to get to come out and do it for me again, that did it for our other property, said that they're like slammed for the next 2 months. I don't really know when they'd be able to get out and do it, so I don't think I can wait that long. So I either call someone else or see if I can do it myself. Well, hello there again. It is another day and I am back with a new tool. This is a Bounty Hunter Tracker 4. It even came with this little pinpointer. So let's see if we can get something done today. Looks like it might rain. Well, I went all over here by the power pole tie down. So far, no luck other than false positives on the metal in my pockets, and of course the tie down itself. So I'm gonna head over that way towards the big pine tree where there's no other things around, maybe a little bit more clear as well, and see if that works. Well, that was kind of fruitless. So I came back over here, we're next to the power pole, and I was actually getting a little bit of a beep right around here, so I'm going to try out this thing. See how you turn it on. Okay. It's supposed to, like, as soon as it stops, that's where you want it to be for sensitivity. Now it is possible, if the metal detector is accurate, unless it's picking up something in this rock, it's too deep for this little thing. Let's see. I'm showing it somewhere in that area. I think it's some kind of something related to the electrical stuff. So I decided to come back out here where I was the other day and found the little blue ribbon, and I got a little ping about 2.5, 3 feet away with the metal detector there. So I started digging and I found more blue ribbon, and then I found this. As you can see, there was a root right by it, but I dug and this came up out of the ground, and I'm assuming that could be a property pin. I thought they'd be much longer than that, but it was basically right there. Well, so far that's all we've got to go on, so that's what I'm going to use. And I guess try to head back towards the road that way and see if I can find another one. I'm gonna go get the measuring tape and see if I can use that to my advantage, because so far I'm not having any luck. And I'm not sure which direction the line goes in, so maybe if I can figure out the distance more accurately, then I can determine which way to go. Assuming that is a pin. I don't know what else it could be. Why would somebody tie a ribbon to a big nail? Anyway, Probably gonna put the camera down because it's just flopping around, and it's not my little camera that I can throw in my pocket, so I'm just gonna leave it in the car, and if I find anything, make any headway here, I'll get back to you. I spent a couple hours, 2.5 hours out here, and all I found was that one pin. I took the measuring tape and I measured the distance that the soil test map plat thing showed, and I used a metal detector all over there. I found 3 different things, but they're all just little junk metal things because it's closer to the road, and of course, you know, wherever you find people, you find trash. But yeah, I did that for quite a while. Then I decided to go back to that pin and measure across to try and see if I could find the other pin in the back. And no luck there, but I was already kind of tired by that point, and I did take some time with it, but I wasn't quite as you know, enthusiastic about it as I was in the beginning. So yeah, this turned out to be much more difficult than I anticipated. I didn't really know what to expect, but you know, I'd hoped to find a general area and be able to work from there. And I mean, either I'm just bad at it, or the pins just aren't there anymore, or you know, I thought maybe I'm just on the wrong lot, like maybe because I don't know where I am, I'm looking in the wrong places. I found all the spider webs though. But the thing with that is like the lots aren't all that different, those two that are next to each other, as far as I can tell. I'll have to study it a bit more, but I don't know, it's just tiring, and the mosquitoes started coming out, and the metal detector is getting caught on every piece of debris that it comes across, grabbing up like little limbs and carrying it with it and stuff, and I was just getting very frustrated and annoyed. But I don't know, it's supposed to rain tonight and tomorrow morning, I think, so I may try to come back out tomorrow afternoon, I don't know, but regardless, I will come back and get at it as soon as I can and give it another old try. I really hope the pins are there and this isn't all just a fruitless waste of time and money and energy to try and find this on my own. I do not want to pay for another survey though. Well, we got some rain, and so I had to wait a day, but what I did is yesterday I decided to do some more investigations on my own, and one of the things I did is I called the survey company just to ask if I couldn't find it myself, how much it would cost to get them to come out and find the pins, and they said it would be $500, and it would be like about a month or something before they could do it. So a couple of reasons there, that's not an ideal solution, but I had an idea after thinking about it some more, and I got the name. I kind of screwed up because technically there's been 2 soil tests done on the property, and the guy I called, which is actually the guy that was recommended to me for the other property we have, but he couldn't charge. He's the one that charged too much, and I couldn't afford to get him to come do it. But he had done the first one, I guess, and so I was like, well, maybe he would know where the pins were since he did the thing. And of course, you know, I neglected the fact that he did the original one, and the soil test map that I have currently was one that was done sometime after his, I guess. Anyway, fortunately for me, he was still very helpful, and he actually had the survey plat that was done by the same company that I called about finding the corners for me. So he was able to send me that plat, and it actually is obviously more specific than the survey for the soil test plat that I currently had, or I previously had, or that I've been using. There we go, that's the proper term. So anyway, I did that. I asked him some questions that were very helpful. He actually kind of informed me about what the results meant on the test that I have now, and possible issues I might run into with the type of soil that's there and stuff like that. So anyway, we're heading back up to the property now, and I'm going to try to use that survey to see if it'll help me find what I'm looking for. And the weird thing is it shows a pin right there by that power pole where I was looking, so we'll see. I'm going to focus my efforts there again and see if I can find anything. Stay tuned. Alright, welcome to cell phone cam. Just got to the property, got set up, brought the metal detector down here, and pretty much immediately found this. I'm thinking that's a pin. It's got a orangish look. It looks like a piece of rebar. Oh, well, that makes me happy and kind of perplexed at the same time. I searched over here with the metal detector. I guess, you know, that's just the difference of knowing kind of where to look and not knowing. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna hook the measuring tape to this and head that direction for the amount of distance it claims, and we'll see if we can find the next one. Just to show you how I'm doing this, I have the measuring tape here, and it's got this like circle loop on the end to hook around things, and I have this clamp that I put on top of the pin so that it can't pop off of it. So I'm just going to take that and head in that direction as close to a straight line as I can and see if we can find this next pin. There it is, pin number 2. Straight from over there, you can kind of see, oh, my finger looks weird. Right there is the Jeep, straight over there. My measurement was a little bit off by like a foot or so because I didn't clear a straight path, so the measuring tape was kind of bending a bit. But yeah, like I said, it was within like a foot or so of the supposed measurement. So I'm pretty confident this is it. And now, just gotta head that direction and see if that measurement lines up and where I end up over there. Alright, just for reference, here's obviously where the line is going. That's the pin there. And if you look, that pine tree that I was looking at is right in there somewhere. So I was about 10 or 15 feet off. I searched in that general area, so yeah, I think it ended up being about 10 or 15 feet off from where the stake actually was. But you see here, this is the backhoe pit, and this is where I'm at, heading the straight line. So I was all around the line. I mean, obviously, I guess that was pretty much a given, but yeah. Well, there's the measuring tape, and I don't know how much I'm losing. This is like about 190 feet that I have to go here, so the chance of losing more than a foot like I did up at the top is very possible. But we're looking for around 189, something like that, and that's right around here. I measured about 100, and then now I'm going 88. And I have been here for a while looking around. I went all the way that way. I've gone down here. I've searched, of course, all over this area where I'm standing, and I have just not had any luck. And as I was coming over here just now, I noticed some orange, and I kicked my foot over, and I'm hitting a pin right there. How the hell that happened? Assuming that's the pin I'm looking for. It's that's a ways off. We're like that's like 99, 100 feet. So that means somehow I lost 12 feet on the way over here based on that, or 11 feet. Which is, you know, maybe not that crazy, but I don't know. I need to get some property stakes or something and try to make a straight line and then measure like that. But yeah, it was right there. I've walked all around it. Like, I literally looked down and saw the orange ribbon poking through the leaves. And I've been over here, this is my 3rd time, but like yesterday and then the first time I came over here and I found the blue ribbon, and I'm looking around everywhere, can't see anything. Maybe at that point I was looking too much at the trees, I don't know, but man, it was right there, man. So I gotta get my stuff and then we're gonna measure from here and see if we can find the next one. Well, here's pin number 4. And right up over that hill, that's where we came from the last pin. But the measurement was a bit off. Obviously, I could be losing, you know, stuff due to the topography. So can't, rule out that. But what I want to do is I'm gonna backtrack and measure over here to see what we get. So I'm not really sure how they go about getting these measurements. I am getting very ticked at like limbs grabbing onto my boots and carrying them with me. So annoying. Anyway, I don't know exactly how they measure this stuff, but you know, maybe the topography kind of throws it off a bit. But I was supposed to be like around 50 feet, and this is like just over 53. If you didn't have like the bend of the mountain, the hill here, and limbs and trees and stuff you're going around, this is a pretty straight shot here, then maybe that is 50 feet. But and what I'm going to do is just grab the metal detector and shave off about 3 feet and just look around just to make sure that there isn't another pin here. And this could be one for a corner of a lot over here. So I'll just do that to try and be safe rather than sorry. Well, I'm not seeing anything else. Something to research maybe, but so far so good. I don't know. Well, I gotta admit I'm feeling a little bit unconfident right now, because right over there, if you can see the line, that's where it's going. And it led me at the angle that I went right down there. And I don't know if you can see, but this area over here, it's a little bit thicker and it's definitely steeper. And there's leaves covering everything. There's all this small underbrush that makes it difficult to swing the metal detector around. So I'm feeling a little disheartened about my ability to track down the pin over here. There's just so much stuff in the way and like so much cleanup you have to do. And I also think I might be feeling a bit demotivated because I feel like I found the important ones that kind of tell me where things are, and this one could be saved for a later time. Obviously, I'm not just going to give up on it. I do want to try to find it. It's just this one, as much challenge as the other ones gave me, they were actually relatively easy to find once I knew how to get to them. But this one, a little bit different. I see something that looks orange right there. My guess is it's going to be a dead leaf or something, but I'm here, so I might as well check it out. Well, that ended up being a lot easier than I thought. I think this right here is what I saw. And then there's this right here. This one, I'm assuming is our pin, because it's supposed to come up at an angle. And our other pin's right over there, if you can see. And I didn't come nearly as much of an angle as I should have, I guess. Maybe they put this big bar on it and everything, so this will be more noticeable, given that it's in a much more, you know, steep and slightly more vegetated position. So I'm just going to go get the measuring tape and double check the measurement here. You may have noticed in the previous shot, but there is this marker here on the tree, and I guess maybe that was kind of, you know, a thing they left is like, hey, this one's over here because we know this area is going to be harder to get to. I don't know. I don't know what else it could be other than spider webs everywhere, but yeah, that's pretty good thinking if that's what the idea was. Leave a marker on the tree there, since it is orange, and that's what we've been finding. I think the ones on that pin are orange and even like a pink spray on it. I don't know. I got the memory of a goldfish. Alright, we're getting about 72 feet. Close to 70 is what I was looking for, and if you look up here, you can see that there's some twists and bends that could easily take up 2 or 3 feet, so I'm pretty confident with this reading. One more to go. You can tell this is the gully. Comes down. It's actually kind of nice looking. I think it's just for runoff water. I don't think you'll see any permanent streams or long-lasting streams at least, but it's got a nice kind of serene look to it. It'd be cool if you had plenty of money and made like a pump with a fountain and just had that kind of running constantly, recycling water. But that wouldn't be natural. Alright, as you can see, I've already retrieved the measuring tape. This is about 100 feet from the pin down there. You can see right there, this is that backhoe pit. And then way over there is the other one. So I'm supposed to go around 160 feet. So that means we got around 60 feet from here. And I don't know if you can see it. Right through there is the power pole. So I'm gonna guess that's about 60 feet. We'll measure it just to be sure, approximately. We have this big cluster of trees in the way, but I think we may have done it. Well, here we are. And the measurement came out close. It's a bit further than it's supposed to be, but again, I don't know how the measurements are taken. We're at 167. We're supposed to be at around 157, so there's 10 feet unaccounted for. Maybe it's due to the topography again, because we are a bit uphill. The most accurate ones were the ones up here and the one down there. So I wonder, you know, it's the ones that aren't really going up or downhill, they're kind of straight across from each other. And I wonder if that's why they make more sense with the way I'm measuring. Because if you could string them up and just go straight from pin to pin, then you might get the more exact measurements. Maybe that's what it is, because they use like lasers or whatever. So fingers crossed. I mean, the pins make as close to sense as what I have on the map as I can think of. So I'm just gonna assume we got it, unless anyone has any information to chime in with as to why I'm horribly wrong. So that's going to be pretty much it for this adventure of finding the property pins. The one more thing I'm going to do today is measure from this pin by the front that direction, because you got to have a 25-foot buffer between the road and where you build. So I just want to have an idea of what that would be. Now, based on how my measurements are turning out, I'm going to assume if I measure to 25 feet, then I'm actually going to be over what they say. Or no, I could be under. I don't know. I would have to measure like straight up, like in line with this probably. Anyway, I'm no good at maths or something. Logistics. What am I bad at? Everything. So I'm just going to measure that just to get an idea of like where you're supposed to be generally about allowed to build. I can't speak anymore either. So right here is 25 feet, just about. You know, come up a little bit, something like that. So let's just say about where this green bit is. And there's this tree here. It's about, you know, 4 feet from this tree. So we'll just kind of say from this tree, pretty much that big ass ugly thing right there is your 25-foot mark. So all this is unbuildable. This is, I guess, maybe driveway parking area territory. Alright, we're back in cinema mode. I got the good camera because I'm not having to fight my way through the woods. But it is interesting. We ended up way over here, further than I thought, from that pine tree. Something I did want to mention that I thought was kind of interesting is when I talked to the people at the survey company, I asked about the little stake that I found with the blue ribbon on it, and she told me that that was not a property marker. Of course, we saw that today because I actually found the actual pins, but she said that that's something that they use, like it's I think she said where they put the instruments or something, it marks, I guess, where those were. I feel like my boot's kind of loose. So anyway, I guess that's what that was. It's a little marker, little reference for the surveyors. So I'm glad I didn't put much faith in that find, because it was not what I was looking for. It was close. I knew it had to be, be related. It had to do something with it. But, the actual pin wasn't that far away from it. But, when you're trying to find exact property lines, or at least as exact as I can do with my current skill and ability, that's about as clearly as I can figure to mark property lines. And, hopefully that's good enough, and if so, paid about $120, I think, for the metal detector and the batteries and everything, taxes and all. So I got the answers that I needed, I think. Knock on wood or something. And I have a metal detector I can use. So that's a little better than paying somebody to come out and do it for, just throwing $100 away. I just hit a button on the back of the camera. Hope that didn't mess anything up. But anyway, that's going to be it for today's adventure, or this week's adventure, I guess. So just in case anyone's wondering, I don't like talking about things too soon before I have everything figured out and whatnot, but just suffice to say that I did make an offer on the property, and it was not accepted because it was too low. Which I knew it would be. It was ridiculously low, like ridiculously. After I made the offer and I didn't hear back for a couple of days, I would think about the offer and laugh to myself of how low that offer was. But the seller is eager to get rid of this property, and I hope that's not a bad sign for me. So far, things seem to be promising. But anyway, so they came back with a counter offer that was within my actual range of like what I thought I would pay for this property. So I said, sounds good to me. And I signed my end of the contract. They're supposed to sign theirs this week, and if so, then we go into due diligence period, where I pretty much at this point had just wanted to get the property line figured out, but I've gotten that figured out before we've even entered into that. So anyway, if that's all good, and I want to get the guy out that I had come out to look at the other property for a driveway thing. I want to see if he'll come out here and tell me what would be required to do a driveway here, and that'll kind of be a big help to me for the due diligence period, assuming the seller goes through and does sign their end. If I get some promising news with the driveway situation, which it should be a hell of a lot more promising than the news I got on our other property. So that's where we're at. That's what's going on. We found the pins, I think. Cross your fingers. Do people do that anymore? Growing up in the 90s, that was a thing. I think it was even in like movies and cartoons and stuff. I don't think I've seen that in a while. But of course, I don't watch children's content anymore, for the most part. I don't know. I just hit a brick wall there. Total brick wall.